feel alive when I'm dreaming. I only feel awake when I'm sleeping. We live infinite lives, full of intimate lies. Speak up if you know what I'm feeling.
Hey guys, what's up? Today, we're gonna be doing another story time. This one will be about the time that I was in elementary school and they actually threatened to institute a detention system. Let's get into the video. Okay, so I'm in 5th grade, and my teacher, let's call him Mr. Shih Tzu, just for the fun of it. And I had 2 other teachers. That my math teacher that year was let's call him Mr. Carl, and let's call my science teacher Miss Bitlife. So why not? It's not sponsored, by the way. Not sponsored. So I don't get fucking sued. Okay, so a lot of kids this year were, well, my grade, we have a lot of assholes and idiots in it. Even just in elementary school, we had a fair share of idiots and assholes. I was not one of those idiots and assholes, and how people can turn me into an asshole by pissing me off. But I am normally not an asshole, and still to this day, I am normally not an asshole to you unless you're being an asshole to me over. Even then, I tend to control it, keep it low-key, but I'll give you kind of a look that says, cut it out, dude. And these kids, they were just, like, not doing their homework night after night. And I'm pretty sure it's hard being a teacher. They should make a lot more money than what they make now. Because without teachers, there would be everybody like Donald Trump, which I'm not supportive of him. I wish that somebody would just kick his ass and put a fucking bottle of Coke up his ass to show him, okay, shut the fuck up, and slap him, you know all that shit. But back to the topic. Okay, so we were actually doing this thing where we where I was in, like, math class, really no one was turning the homework in, except this one asshole kid. He was an asshole kid. He was just a bully and an idiot. He was actually pretty good at math, and he actually did help me a couple times, but overall, he'd, like, insult me and just be a big asshole. But he was, like, a fucking whiz at math. I wonder where he went. Let's name him. This is the only time you can hear him in this story, but let's call him Bang. And Bang, he was like a bully kid, but he did help me out a couple of times in 5th grade. In math class, because he was fucking good at math. I don't know why he was in that class. That was like the average class. He was like really above average in math. So really, like, none of those asshole kids were turning their shit in, and the teachers are getting tired of it. Which I would too. No disrespect for teachers, but you guys have a really hard job, and I could not do what you do. I would just completely go ape shit on one of the kids by the end of the year. One of these kids, I would just go ape shit on them if I was their teacher. And they weren't turning the homework in, which that's obviously a problem, because you don't have a homework, you don't have a grade, and let's be honest, school grades don't really matter. Middle school grades, they may matter, in the college, it may not. Like, just try and keep a good grade. You don't have to have, like, fucking all A's in middle school. But high school, that's where that gets into, okay, I need to fucking get the best grade possible on every fucking assignment. And by saying, you just don't care about that anymore. Kind of care about colleges and all that stuff, but you really don't care about what kind of best grade you got. So I advise getting the best grades while you can. But they basically had enough. So they threatened us with having a detention system, and like the kids were like, "What the fuck?" Like, number one, I'm pretty sure they cannot do that legally. Um, and even if they could, this is why they ended up not trying to do it. Because, number one, I don't know the legal aspects of that. And number two, I don't know what the district or parents or teachers said, but the kids there's like hella backlash from the kids and even a couple of parents, which is that actually went through with it. Because, like, we're in your fucking elementary school. At least my parents, they didn't have time for that. Like, I had a dad that had 2 jobs, and my mom was, like, swamped with work. Like, she was there an extra 2 hours every single day for 3 years. Because her boss was a dumbass, and he was just an asshole. And it wasn't even going to us. We didn't really even get a raise for that. It was all going into the boss's pockets. Because he fired people and just put it all on my mom. And I have a lot of respect for her. She's the best mom in the world. But, like, a lot of parents, like, they can't do that. So imagine a backlash from parents if that started happening. Like, the school may even get, like, a lawsuit or two. Just for doing detention. Like, number one... And I went up to my teacher. This is where this comes in. Mr. Shih Tzu. Oh, my God. I went up to my teacher, and I was pissed. Like, I was red, but I was trying to hold back. And be like, okay. I kind of went like this. What the fuck did you just say? I didn't say what the fuck, but I said, what did you just say? And I gave him a stare that, okay, you better choose your words carefully, motherfucker, because I will beat the shit out of you in a heartbeat. And he said, well, you guys should start turning in your work, which I'm a good student. I always turn in my homework. Like, only a couple times a year, total in a year. Like, that's not just for one class. Like, through all classes, only a couple times a year, I may forget my homework at home, or I may forget that we had homework, and I just won't do it because of that. I'm a good student. That doesn't happen a lot, and the teachers just say, oh, yeah, just go ahead and do it tonight, and you can turn it in for half credit tomorrow. Okay, cool. But he was like, you better turn in your work. It's like, I always do, dude. Oh my gosh. Like, the nerve of that dude. He was an asshole teacher. He wasn't a very good teacher either, actually. He didn't try to be anybody's friend. Like, that's a trait of a good teacher. But he was just an asshole teacher. Like, it's kind of obvious that he was, even though he was like a rookie teacher, that he was kind of like making shit up as he went. It was kind of obvious there. And I don't know how he still had a job. It was obvious that was probably the only job he could get. Because he probably didn't know what he's doing. Like, for Christmas, he was a nice teacher on occasion, but he was just a bad teacher. I'm just gonna flat out say it. Like, I actually remember for Halloween that year, he dressed up as a butterfly, and his hairy chest was showing, and all of us were like, what the fuck? And when Andrew finally went up to him and said, are you gay or something? He was like, I'm not gay, and got up on his face and pissed. But, like, why would you wear that costume, number one? Like, did you lose a bet? Why are you wearing a fucking... That still cracks me up to this day. Good times. Yeah. So, yeah, he threatened detention. I was like, choose your words carefully. He said that to me. I went up to the other 2 teachers. They were like, there's really not much we could do unless you guys change. It's like, well, number one, we're fucking kids. We're fucking 10 years old. At this point, we are literally 10-year-old kids. Why do you think that's okay to do it to 10-year-old kids? Like, what's your mindset here? Explain that. And, my, science teacher, what do we call her? Mrs. Bang? Or was that Bang? Okay, whatever, yeah. So, she was the nicest. She put it the nicest out of y'all. Was like, she's my favorite teacher I've ever had. In fact, you know what? I'm just gonna call her by name because she's my favorite teacher. I loved her. Like, she taught me this thing. I still remember it to this day. And I'm a senior. I still remember this from 5th grade. She said, what's hot wants to get cold. Well, what that means is that stuff that's hot and, like, steam, they want to cool down stuff. Like, that's not me in the fucking winter time. When I'm cold, I want to get eaten up. But she taught me that, and I remember, like, I was making model ears for her class, and she was, like, my favorite teacher. My favorite teacher. Still to this day, she's my favorite teacher ever. Right up there is a teacher that I had, like, 2 years ago. His name is Mr. Robbins. Some of you guys do know him. He was a comic, so he told jokes. He was that number 2, but Miss Biddle, she takes the top prize. And I was so happy in 8th grade because for 8th grade before the next year she had to move back to teaching 5th grades, but she taught 6th graders when I was in 8th grade. And I actually had a class like right across the hall from her because this school, Princeton High School, is just it just doesn't plan shit out well. I'm just gonna flat out say it. It's just a bad school to go to if you're looking for excellently planned out shit. Because they're more of the last minute bullshit kind, and it's not even good shit. Besides the point. But I would go over to her class, and I would have a little bit of talk with her because she was on her lunch break, and she would go out and just watch the kids, make sure there was no fights, and I would talk to her a little bit. And, we'd talk about science because at the time that was actually my favorite class. Now it is history 100%. But yeah, this is the way she put it. She put it that it is sadly a matter of, how did she put it? See, it's hard for me to remember stuff that happened like a year ago. But something that happened when I was 10, it's going to be hard to remember. Here's how she put it. She put it like this. That it's out of her hands and that she doesn't want to. She thinks that it's totally unfair. And she actually took the student's side on it, oddly enough. Like, most teachers, they'll just side with the teachers. Even if they think the teacher's wrong, they'll just side with the teachers out of principle. But she sided with the kids, and I think that was awesome. That she wasn't afraid to tell me that she thought that this was wrong and unfair. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time.